All right, everybody. How are we doing? We are back once again. I think we're on part four now. Four part for our retrospective into this Dissidia Opera Omnia. So now we're at probably in my opinion like the worst time in the game, man. Early Lufenia Plus. If you were here, you already know. If you weren't here, this shit sucked, man. This sucked. Like, sure, early chaos sucked because it was a huge ass jump in like difficulty and like resources for making dudes chaos strong were pretty few and far between. But it was okay. It was a little manageable. This here was no. This was not manageable at all. So the first fight for Lufenia Plus was Divine Pandemonium. Now, the gimmick with Divine Pandemonium is at the start of the fight, he has an aura around him that basically says you don't gain Brave unless you delete his turn. So, since like every team in the game needs to gain some Brave, you got to take care of his aura. Now, delete his turn doesn't sound too bad until you realize there are exactly two characters in the game, at this point anyway, that can do that. Two. Just two. You've either got Amy, who, like I said, at this point, she had been power crept, I don't know, by about 5 or so months. So, I mean, she wasn't even good when they like re-released her and updated her. She was just like, it's okay. But yeah, so you had Amy, who again is a power crept option, and it's not like you get rid of the aura once and it's gone. I'm pretty sure he does it two, maybe 3 times, and you only get 3 uses of her LD to delete. I mean, I guess unless you're like holding on to EX to delete, but man, that's a gamble by itself. So yeah, your only 2 options are a character that's incredibly power crept and doesn't contribute much to damage, and you're just kind of sabotaging your own completion chance at that point. Or you've got the banner character. You got Zidane here. You know, banner character. He deletes turns. So yeah, and that's just what the motherfucker does at the start of the fight. And we're already we're already in the weeds of like, yeah, there's 2 characters that can do that. And it's like, oh man, like this isn't the whole fight. That's just the aura at the start of the fight so that you can, play the game. That's so you can play the game. So yeah, we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. Then he's got the little wind cyclones next to him, and well, because Zidane's he's deleting turns and he's a big fast turn stealer type of character. Those wind attacks are just gonna come out and they just do HP damage to you. They just hit you for HP damage. The only way to get rid of them is to just wait them out. After you take, I don't know, like 10 turns in a row, or I guess just 10 turns. The cyclones go away and you can just focus on the boss. So again, off to a great start. And then we got the orb. I don't even remember what the orb is. I don't even remember. Like it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. It's just like, man, we're already off to a good start. I mean, maybe the orb's nonsense too. Like I said, I don't really remember. But it's just like, boy, this is the first guy. Okay, we did something there and like uptick the orb. Maybe it's like break him or something. Maybe it's do like a force break, which I mean, force break is like easier to come by than fucking turn delete. So yeah, this stage was gross, just gross, and it doesn't get better. That's the sad part. It doesn't get better. You got the orb, which is whatever that if you don't play by the orb, it kills you. Then you've got bosses with mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics. and we will revisit this later, like way later when we get to probably the worst fight ever, Divine Shiva. We'll get to Divine Shiva. Man, that's nonsense. But yeah, as you can see, he's got his big tornado thingy around him again. Guess what? We gotta break him, or we gotta delete his turn. Can't break him. No. Delete his turn. All right, now you can play the game. Now you can play the game. Yeah, man, this is gross. Gross, absolutely gross. Do not miss this fight. Like, I mean, if you pulled Zidane and had like a half decent like healer and like maybe another guy, the fight itself didn't give you too much trouble. But you know, no one likes having to pull for the banner guy, or else the fight is like damn near unbeatable. Again, like you just can't gain Brave unless you delete his turn. Which again, there's two people, so I mean there were some people who were like, "Fuck it, I'm not doing it," and they were just taking Ami friends and just summon the friend, do a delete, do some other nonsense, and then hope they could get it down quick enough while the friend was still out. Do another delete, and I was like, "Hey man, you do what you got to do, man." So I mean, at least that was like kind of viable. It wasn't the best, but it was something you could try and do. It was something you can try and do. The next one though, no excuse. The next one was no excuse. Oh, this is the what is this, the challenge mission? Oh no, we just did it with another team. Oh, that's right. We got Istola. This time, we'll try with Istola. Yeah, instead of Core. Oh, that's right. We had a sneaky one in here before we got to the silly one. So we had Guy, big Guy. Not a Guy fan, but you know, big Guy. And Guy had his Lufenia plus stage. I don't remember too much, but I do remember these alligator dudes were a pain in the ass because they had they got that one ability where they just absorb all your brave and then like hit you for big damage, and it was like, nah, this is no good. I don't remember what the word was for this one either. But I remember this one was a pain in the ass too, because it was like, you know, Guy's a tank character, taunts, heals, does all that type of stuff. So they were like, you know, well, have him do damage, have him do a bunch of damage. So that's why we got Istola. Just like, bro, because I'm pretty sure I don't even remember if Istola was out during Guy's banner. Was she out? I don't even remember. Maybe she came out with like Zidane too. Because I don't remember if I had to wait a little bit to get this done, because I couldn't do it until I got Istola Green, or like I don't know. But yeah, we got her with the Burst Plus, so I mean this should be easy. We got Sync. I love Sync. Sync's so cool. Sync's a good girl. I don't even remember. What is the like orb on this one? Was it just break them or some shit? Apparently it's just break them and you just get the orb up. But these dudes do or when they do their move to suck up brave, they have a fuck ton of brave. So breaking these dudes isn't the easiest thing in the world. All right, let's get to the one everybody wants to see. Let's get to the one big one. This yeah, okay. All right. let's get to it. Sid Reigns, Lufenia Plus. This is the third one. I thought it was the second one, but I forgot about Guy. I mean, as did everybody. Everybody forgot about Guy. All right. Where do we start? Well, we can start with the obvious. Sid Reigns, probably one of the most broken characters that the game has ever seen on release. Man was truly built different, man. Man was hitting for 1,000,000 damage when like dudes in burst mode could barely hit for 1,000,000 damage. Like the dude was crazy. The man was crazy. Did a follow-up attack on launch. could launch off all his attacks as long as he had his buff up. I mean, like the man was crazy. LD and skill 2 move dudes turns however you want, after him. Like, man, this dude was crazy. Man was stacked of mechanics. Man was stacked full of mechanics. Dude was so stacked. You'll see it in a little bit when we get past here. They were just throwing motherfuckers that were just like, no, you can't launch this dude. I was like, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet, because that shit's done. So yeah, Sid Rain's good ass character. Like, one of like the most valued characters you could have pulled like during this time. Like, man just got better. He didn't fall off. The man just did not fall off. I remember taking him out when he got like his level 90, and I was like, the dude really hasn't changed a bit. Is this dude still good? Man, it's still good. He was just as good as he left him. I was like, man, this dude is still broke. And it's been like 6-7 months, so this dude's still broke. We only just now got dudes that can catch up to him. So yeah, this dude was the bee's knees, man. The bee's knees when he came out. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about the fight and why the fight is nonsense. One, the fight is nonsense because well, you pretty much need Sid Rains. If you don't take Sid Rains, you've got to be one of the, I don't know, 10 or so crazy motherfuckers that are attempting to beat this without Sid Rains. Of which, like, I think there's only, like, there's really only like so many videos of this event on launch of people actually beating it without a Sid Rains team. Like, there's only like a couple, like maybe 5 at most. And even then, if the other 2 substitutes are Lyle, who hasn't been on the banner for a long ass time. So if you didn't pull for Lyle, 4 so months ago in anticipation for this event because you didn't want to pull Sid Rains, you were shit out of luck. Sucks to suck. The only option was Tifa, who could launch on EX, but you needed a super specific setup in order to do enough damage. So if you didn't have Tifa, or let's say you did have Tifa, the EX, if you didn't have either, Estola with her burst green, or you didn't have like a full Porum, or like, I don't even know, maybe there was another substitute, but like, I think you probably, I don't even know how, like, maybe you could wait. I think Bart's is next after this. Maybe you could have waited and did Bart's and maybe do something. But yeah, your options were Sid Rains or nothing. So as we talked about, a little bit ago with Pandemonium, you had Zidane, who was clearly the best choice. That was the choice they were thinking of. But if you really, really wanted to, you could get creative and take like a Zidane friend or like an Amy friend or something. You could take an Amy friend like an Amy Call, and like you had enough. If you played the cards right, you had enough deletes to get through the stage. There was no such like secondary option for this stage. There's just nothing. You either pulled Sid Rains or you just didn't complete the stage. Because let's be honest, the dudes that could pull off the non-Sid Rains like run are dudes who are super invested in the game. Like, these are dudes who are, these dudes are cracked. These are like the top of the top. The top 0.01% of dudes. They got like every character. They can, fool around and experiment with team builds, and a stage that took me 17 minutes with the character. These dudes are taking like 30 minutes, around 30 plus minutes to get the stage done without the character. Most dudes don't have that kind of time, man. Most dudes do not have that kind of time. So you either pulled Sid Rains. I mean, realistically, you either pulled Sid Rains or you just didn't finish the stage. Now the stage itself. Let's actually talk about the boss and his mechanics and why I keep stressing, hey, you need Sid Reigns. So the boss is like we've seen before. This is the point in the game where they're just throwing mechanics at motherfuckers. They're just mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics, and usually it just results in a very skewed fight in one direction. And if you don't play in that direction, or sometimes even if you do, it's just a real shit fight. It's just a real shit fight. This is if you play, if you had Sid Reigns and played around it a bit, it's not bad. It's a pretty manageable fight. I dare say it's even an easy fight if you have a good team set up with Sid. The problem though is there's a bunch of mechanics for the fight. So let's go over it. First, the orb. In order to uptick the orb, you need to launch them, and then you have to do at least some arbitrary number of damage. Man, I can't even remember at the top of my head. I think it was 500,000. I think you had to do at least 500,000 damage, or it might have been 4, but you had to do a grip of damage off of a launch. And this is just to uptick the orb, and the orb only upticks by like what, 2? So yeah, you had to keep launching. It wasn't like, oh, I launched them, did a bunch of damage, orb went up by like, I don't know, 5 or 6. You got a little bit of time to pace yourself and get back in the game. But no, orb only goes up by like 2. Let's see what the orb is. The orb's at like 11 right now. Alright, we launched them, did 900. Oh, plus 3. Whoa, look out now. Don't get too big. But yeah, if you didn't have a launch that could do that much damage, semi-regularly, because like I said, it goes up by 3, so you've only got a couple of turns before you're in the negative. You were just SOL. Like I said, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. And that's the insta-kill orb. Dude still got other mechanics. So at the start of the fight, he has his recast attack, which is super fucking annoying because it hits you. It does either 2 or 3 HP attacks. So any of your dudes with last stand, like your Zax, your Yunas, hell, even Eastola, they just get blown up because they do multiple HP attacks. So if they get brought down to 1 from the first attack, the second one will just kill them. And it's like, oh, okay, so we're just doing that now. Gotcha. So yeah, that was another mechanic. Another thing he has is a brave shield, because we gotta stack more mechanics on him. Gotta stack more mechanics on him. Oh, is he gonna do it right now? Yeah. Sucks up nutrients. I see him. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is a shield. Yeah, he gets a 400,000 brave damage shield, and he gets a buff that I think increases his defense. I'm pretty sure it said it there. But yeah, so we're doing lower damage, and he has a brave shield, and we still gotta contend with the orb. Orb didn't go away. Orb's still there, man. So you gotta go through a 400,000 damage brave shield, and uptick the orb at the same time while keeping up with his other stuff. Also, he has this he has a passive, like some passive buff or something, where I don't even remember what it does, but as long as you don't give, that's why you see me trying to not give him a turn. One, the recast attack fucking sucks. Like, the recast attack just super sucks. But you just don't want to give this dude a turn. That's easy, or easier, because Sid Reigns do turn manipulate, so you can jump dudes ahead of the turns and stuff, man. So you're fine. It's just another one of those things like Pandemonium, where his cyclones, where it's like, oh, if you don't if you take enough turns, the shit just goes away. I think it might have to do with the brave shield. Yeah, okay. So you have to break the brave shield before you give him a turn. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he just does some bullshit attack and wipe shit. But yeah, he's just got a silly amount of mechanics. Orbs there, shields is there. He's got double HP attacks on the recast. Also, he's got a fuck ton of HP because Sid Reigns is a launcher. So it's like, oh, well, we're doing big damage. I'm doing 700,000 damage on the launch. Fucking turn up the HP, man. Can't have you blowing through the stage. too fast. Gotta get our mileage out of it. Yeah, man, this one was fucking rough. Well, it's easy if you had Sid Rain in like a decent setup. So see right here, we're just casting Warrior Light Call because we know the recast attack is coming, and we just don't want to deal with it. But yeah, man, this shit, like, if you didn't have, even if you had Sid Reigns, if your team wasn't like, up to speed, so to say, it was still just gross. It was like, man, this shit sucks. And then during his recast attack, he dispels all debuffs. So if that wasn't enough, you couldn't just set up your debuffs on him and then just kind of like breeze through the fight. It's like, no, 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 we need more. We need more mechanics. So now I gotta sit here and bullshit around and rebuff and do all types of shit, man. Yeah, this was gross. This fight was just gross. Like I said, I remember doing this fight like twice because like even with Sid Reigns and Istola with green, and this you gotta remember at this point like Burst Plus had just come out, so you really had to kind of work to get like a green burst this early. You had to work for it. So I had the green burst on Istola, and if you didn't, again, I mean this shit was rough, man. This shit was rough, but it wasn't that bad if you had Sid Reigns. But again, this is another fight like Pandemonium where it's like if you don't have like the feature dude, this shit is no good. This shit is no good. All right, what do we get next for Lufenia Plus? Transcendence 5. I don't remember this being too big a deal. What was this, Ace and Bart's? So the only one that's a pain in the ass is this one right here. Like not even like the last one. The last stage is the mummies, right? I think it's the mummies. I think it's the mummies. We can scroll down and see. I think it's the mummies. I'm gonna assume it's the mummies. Um, but yeah, this what is this? Right gate? Yeah, the right gate for Transcendence 5. So Bart's came out, and Bart's whole goal thing was his LD did win weakness damage without the need for a debuff. So he could just hit for win weakness damage without like having a debuff or having to do like imperil like somebody like Fujin or even Kurasame or really anybody else is like, oh, we got a debuff that lets you do big damage. So Bart's could pretty much give the. I think he needed. Did he need burst for the win, or was it just no? It just needs the call or the LD. So the LD would give everybody win weakness stuff, and then he could hit for win weakness damage. So that was the gimmick. And the thing with this fight is it relied 100% on that gimmick. Basically the fight, these two like dudes, we can skip ahead to show you. They get an orb at under 80%, and the orb says basically what I just talked about. Do weakness damage, or as yes specifically, win weakness damage without and these dudes can't be like imperiled. So your option was Bart's and like a Bart's call, and that was it. So this one right here is a fun one because I basically just um, rush down the orb because I did the fight before with Bart's, and it's a safe run. You don't have to worry about too much. But then I did it again with no Bart's. No Bart's in the party, no Bart's call. So I'm strictly on a time limit of deal as much fucking damage as I can. Uh, before the orb goes off. And we did it. So that was cool. That was fun. I pat myself on the back for that. I was like, yeah, we did it. But yeah, that one was annoying because it's literally Bart's. So you either like rush down the orb or you pull for Bart's, or you come back, fucking 5 months later when everything's power crept and you can just like one shot it. Let me just check this one. This is the mummies, right? The mummies suck, but I mean they're not like the worst thing in the world. I'm pretty sure this is the mummies. Yeah, this is the mummies. Yeah, the mummies suck, but they're not terrible. Like they're manageable. The gimmick with the mummies is you got the one big mummy here and then the two ads on the side. And basically you have to kill the two ads on the side before the one in the middle hits a certain HP threshold, because he'll do an attack where he sacrifices the mummies. But if he doesn't have anything to sacrifice, you're good. But if he sacrifices the mummies, he just instantly one shots a party member, which is no good. Which is no good. So yeah, that one's kind of rough. What is this one? Oh, the Arnia Prompto. Yeah, we can do this one too. These ones, like again, we're like I said, this shit kind of sucked. These shits kind of sucked. So we got the Arnia one. Gimmick with this fight is that Arnia's whole gimmick is she once she delays, also she puts a debuff. I can't remember if it's a debuff on the enemy or a buff on her, where she always crits. So the orb here is just, hey, just deal critical damage, which is easy as shit, but not easy when the enemies have an aura that they can put up that just says, yeah, no, we're taking 1 damage. So, trying to get through 10,000 brave while only doing 1 damage, a little bit tough. And so it's a little bit tough. So, yeah. And then there's one where you have to let the enemy get a turn. I know. The character who specializes in delaying enemies and stopping them from getting a turn, the fight, you have to let them get a turn so that they can do their attacks, so they don't go into a bullshit mode where they put up their aura where it's like, yeah, we only take 1 damage. So if you let them get a turn and then go balls deep and kill them, then you're fine. But there's a lot of, I remember when this joint came out, and a lot of dudes were like, bro, his dude keeps like putting up his shield and I only do 1 damage. But yeah, you gotta let him get a turn, man. Let him get 1 turn, and then after that, just stop. But yeah, this was like not like the worst like fight ever, but it had like some mechanics where it's just like, come on, man. And then there's Prompto, who's also on the banner. He's like a dodge counter guy. So that's why they have the like let them get a turn and then they gain a bunch of brave, because ideally supposed to be using Prompto. Like this dude's got 100,000. You're supposed to be using Prompto to taunt him, and then let him attack. Prompto will dodge, and then he'll do his thing. So yeah, I mean that one's fine, but it's a little bit annoying. Also, there's Bart's LD. Immediately gravity's all brave to 0, and then he immediately does a brave attack. So it's an instant break, but it's a different kind of instant break. Comes in handy a lot, but yeah, I mean that's kind of what they're expecting. What is this one? Quistis LD banner? Damn, Quistis banner. I don't remember this one. Yeah, we just kind of spam like the team early on, because these fights are so nonsense. Is just Sid range, whoever your green burst is, plus like orb character. It's like, here's your DPS, here's your support, orb character. So like yeah, like a lot of these fights like coming up are just like Sid range, Eastola, whoever I need for orb, and it's just gonna stay that way for as long as I can keep it. Oh yeah, these dudes! I forgot all about these dudes. This fight sucks. I know we've been saying that a lot, but man, you do not know, man. All these fights fucking suck. They just suck for different reasons. So yeah, as you can see, enemies heal HP. And not a small amount of HP, 70,000 HP every turn until they get delayed 2 times, which is why Quistis is here. Quistis, Queen of Delay, delays all the time. So literally, you don't do damage until you delay them. So we use Quistis, we delay. All right, aura's gone. Now we can do damage. The fun part is that they get this aura two or three times during the fight, and it's just super annoying because all it does is slow you down, and it's just like, all right, you know, if you're on a tear with like, you know, somebody, let's say you're mid burst on your burst guy. In this case, would be Istola, and I trigger the old HP recovery. Well, the rest of my burst phase is just fucked because they're just gonna keep recovering HP. So now I gotta, you know, do the rest of my burst that's doing like negative damage. Hell, I probably come out of the burst. They probably got more HP than when I started the burst, and then I gotta get to Quistis and then delay them again to get rid of the aura, and then we can start doing damage. So yeah, this shit sucks. This one sucks. Luckily, this is like the only gimmick they have. It's not like here's a mechanics fest of like boss does 20 different things. You got to try and fucking keep track of all of them. Like, no. But the one thing the boss does is super annoying. So now the orb's there, and I'm pretty sure it's just like delay them. So like the orb is fine. It's the healing aura that's nonsense. It's just like, wow, okay, really. Heal for 70,000 unless I specifically delay you twice. Now, delaying somebody twice isn't impossible. There's other dudes you can take to like delay, but man, this one was rough. This one was rough. Let's see, what one is this one? Ooh, we got brought out the Mommy of Darkness. Big Mommy's got her upgrade. That's cool. Means I can take a DPS burst. I don't even remember this one. Oh, is this Vane's mission? I think this is Vane's mission, right? Because he's the banner. Yeah, Zach LD, Vane banner. Yeah, this one sucked too. This one sucked too. Man, we are just repeating ourselves with like all these missions just suck. All these missions sucked. I remember this one. This one is pretty notorious. So the missions the quest is for Vane. Vane came out. You know, Vane. We used Vane back in Chaos era. Not really. Well, we used him back in Chaos era. We used him again in Cosmos before that. He was real strong. The problem here is the two banner characters. You have Vane, who's a big DPS, turn stealer guy who breaks, gets turns, does a lot of damage, but he wants the enemy to not act. You know, he wants to be the only one attacking. You know, makes sense. Okay, nothing wrong with that. We've had DPS before. Same guy, Zach Fair. He is a tank. He's a tank DPS. So he does want the enemy to act. I mean, not necessarily, but if the enemy does act, it's not the end of the world. He'll tank damage and stuff. So you've got a tank who wants the enemies to attack, interact with them, and you've got a DPS, a big turnstile DPS who doesn't want the enemies to interact. So how do you make a stage that caters to both of them? Well, of course you make a boss that says, if you take too many turns, I just beat your ass. Of course. We don't take like the guy route where it's like, okay, we just got a enemy who has, a bunch of HP attacks. As long as you can sustain yourself, you're okay. No, my friend. We've got two plants who just sit here, and if you take, I don't even remember the arbitrary number of turns. I think it's 12. I think if you took 12 actions, not even like turns, 12 actions in a row, they would turn, skip in front of you, gain a bunch of brave, and then do an HP attack to your whole party. So, I mean, it was a wipe. It was essentially a wipe. But yeah, that was fun. And I think the orb is for like breaking enemies because Vayne is like a rebreaker. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, not in the least, not in the least. I remember a lot of people complaining about this one because it's like, oh, they're like, man, boy, I pulled for the banner guy. I pulled for Vayne. You know, the guy on the cover, the guy who's this, I'm assuming the stage is built for, and I get fucked by mechanics to the boss that punishes the style of play of the guy you're promoting. It's like, what is that? Like, what is that, man? It's like you tell me to pull for the guy that does a bunch of damage and takes a bunch of turns, and then the stage punishes you for taking a bunch of turns. Like, I don't understand. And it's like, yeah, that shit sucks, man. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. And it's just like, man, this is gross, man. Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So yeah, that one was a fun one. That was a fun one. The old stage that punishes the banner character. Alright, so what is this one? I don't know, we're gonna click it though. More cloud of darkness. Love my mommy. Alright, what are we doing? What is this one? This one! Yeah. Yeah. I purged this memory from my brain. I didn't want to remember this one. Yeah, this sucked. This sucked a lot. This one sucked a lot. Not fun. Not fun at all. See, I told you we weren't joking when I said, man, this shit just kind of sucked. It's like, yeah, these fights just all kind of suck. All right, so the gimmick with the Phantom is you get the two ads on the side. The two ads on the side will do one of two things. One of them will buff the guy in the middle by giving him, some type of buff, like attack up, damage up, or something. Some type of buff. And I think he gets like brave or something. And then the other guy will just give the middle guy like a fuck ton of brave. Also, the middle guy is untargetable while the two ads on the side are alive. So, I mean, essentially the goal of the fight, you kill the two ads on the side, and then hit the guy in the middle, a bunch and kill him. He only respawns the ads if he gets a turn. So if you kill the two ads and then like just delay him into oblivion, I mean the fight's over. The fight plays itself. The problem with this is the orb. The problem with this is the orb. If I remember correctly, yeah, the orb is the middle guy has to take like poison or like some sap type rave damage on his turn. So yeah, you heard me correct. The orb on the boss that is pretty much based around killing the ads and not getting a turn because he just respawns the ads and you have to do the the little nonsense mini game again. His gimmick, his orb, is to let him get a turn. That's right. His orb is to let him get a turn. So yeah, this one sucked. Just because the orb was the complete opposite of the mentality you would take going into this fight, knowing the mechanics. So yeah, this one sucked. This one sucked a lot because you could very easily run out of turns or skills because you spend so much trying to kill the ads, and then the middle guy's just kind of getting buffed. And I mean, he gets a turn. maybe he does something and it's like, man, we're just getting outplayed. So we got the Creeley call here, just so we can do a paralysis on him. I mean, it's a 2-turn, or it's a 2-turn setup for the paralysis, but it's fine. So yeah, he won't spawn the ads if he, obviously if he can't act. But we need his turn to come so so the orb can trigger. That's also why we've got a Ramu summon, so I can again paralyze him before he can respawn the ads. So you gotta play this like really. You gotta jump through all these hoops and play this silly like extra mini game inside the fight. That's just like, man, I need the boss to get a turn, but I don't want him to do anything. So you've also got to have a guy who can set up some type of brave sap or something. And then you've also got to have, ideally some forms of paralysis to stop him from acting so he doesn't respawn the ads. And then you've got to, just do the thing. Yeah, so at 79%, he just jumps his turn ahead, and it's just like, I mean, the orb goes away, but he just jumps his turn ahead. And, at that point, that's the gimmick of like, oh, he's going to summon the ads. But, not this time because we stopped him. So now I'm pretty sure for the rest of the fight, we just like burst with Bart's, and I just take Big Mommy into burst mode, and we just beat his ass. Because like this is nonsense. I'm pretty sure he does the jump again at like 49%, and I think one more time at 29%. So if you didn't have like this really convoluted, silly setup of just stopping him from like acting, it is very easy for you to not be able to pass turn count for this guy. So now, how does that tie into the banner character KC? I don't know. That dude's just a cat on like a big moogle. I don't know. Like all he fucking does is like his LD gives you like some brave recovery and like instant breaks. I don't remember who else is on the banner, but I'm just like, really, that's kind of it, man. I don't even think he doesn't have a debuff to put on a sap, so I don't even know where they got the idea from. Maybe it was like the other dude on the banner who didn't get a buff. I'm just like, bro, what are we doing with this, man? Yeah, I'm pretty sure after this, we just do some stuff. Yep, he tries to jump in front of us again. We use Big Mommy, summon Ramu. What's the turn count on this? I want to see. What's the turn count on this? Oh, I give you 95 turns. Oh, I'm sorry. You ain't gonna run out of turns. You'll run out of patience before you fucking run out of turns. Give you 95 turns on that. I'm pretty sure if you just take that many turns, you're just not hitting fucking score. Because, like, I took 28 turns. I'm, like, a little bit over score, but I'm not that big over score. Yeah, no, that shit sucked. Yeah, see, it's even in the description. This shit sucks. I'm like, yeah, this shit sucks, man. Who was, like... I don't even know. It just says it's just the KC. Kit C. What character? We got Shoki. Yo, I love Shoki. I need to bust out Shoki. I'll try and bust her out on one of these final missions. Shoki's so cool. I remember Shoki fights like the big hella chopper. Yeah, the big hella chopper. The dragonfly. I remember this one being like okay. The only gimmick with this one is you gotta, well, again, another fight where you gotta kill the ads before you can damage the boss. So if you don't damage the boss, or if you don't kill the ad before the boss gets like, I think 2 turns, then he just wipes you, and it's just like, oh, okay, well. I mean, at least this one kind of like makes sense with Shoki being a big turn hog, turn stealer. You know, you got a thing where it's like, hey, we don't want the boss to get a turn. And it's like, oh, you know what? Makes sense. Makes sense. You know, did not make sense for Vayne, where it's just like, no, we need you to, you take too many turns, man, we're gonna kill you. It's like, okay, yeah, you got it. So yeah, that one's fun. What's the next one? Why did I have this twice? Is this one where I needed to do it twice? Maybe. Also, I'm sure you've noticed, we switched out Sid Reigns for Big Mommy. Yeah, that's whenever we switched Sid out, that was when the game said, yeah, no, you gotta stop, man. We just can't launch. You can't launch nobody. Say, okay. So like that Ghost mission would be dumb easy if I had Sid Reigns. No, Ghost can't be launched. Well, okay, you got it. So yeah, also you can see there a dude just carpet bombed me and dropped me to 1 HP. Yeah, that's why we had the extra defense there. That's why we had the extra defense there. Because killing that, like the ad, like the ad has a silly, like a unnecessary amount of HP. And yeah, that's the attack where it's just like, yeah, if you didn't kill him before, if you don't kill him before he takes his turn, yeah, he just does that. And it's just like, yeah, no, that's kind of like, you're just kind of dead. It's like, yeah, yeah. So the cute trick here that somebody found, I don't know, I think somebody on JP side found out. If you use Porum and confuse the plane with Cry. I don't know how crying confuses the big battleship plane, but anyway, little girl's crying. He's confused. You can actually hit him with the ad still there. I'm not entirely sure how, like, why that works. Because you shouldn't be able to hit him because he always like evades, but apparently somehow the confuse status effect drops his evasion to 0, so you can still hit him without having to worry about killing the ad, which is weird, but that's what we do here. So I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, that's yeah, that's a thing. Oh, okay. I don't remember this one. I'm gonna click it anyway. So I should. I mean, I don't remember. Just click it. All right. Standard team here. Oh, is that my friend Pinello Mannequin? Yo, is that the Pinello Mannequin? Everybody knows Pinello Mannequin, the strongest opponent in the game, strongest motherfucker in the game. Do not, do not step to Pinello Pinello Mannequin. So yeah, like real talk, no joke. The mannequins on the side, really the Pinello one is the only trouble in this fight. Like the boss is kind of annoying because she has charm, and it's like good charm, where like, cause they're like the small like Lamias that don't have like charm, but it only works on like male characters. She's got like the big mommy charm that's just like male, female, don't give a fuck. You're just your charm. It's like, oh damn, she's too thick. Even the straight women is like, damn, yo, I smash. It's like, damn, you're right, man. I want some of that. It's like, damn, can't even deny it. That shit's gripping. It's like, damn, man, you're right. Even Istola is the white mage. It's like, man, I know God said not to, but that shit kind of gripping, guy. Shit. But yeah, the Pinella mannequin is the big deal because she, like, her first attack every at the start of the fight is to do her LD move, the was it Evanescence, and it moves like your LD move, so it hits you for a bunch of times, gets a bunch of brave, and does full HP damage to the whole party. And unlike the enemies where they have like a billion HP, we're only sitting at like 15,000 HP. So it is very very likely that she hits us, gets 20,000 brave, and then just wipes the party. Well, okay. So yeah, Nell Mannequin. Very scary. Very scary. All right, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll call it wraps here. What we got? Garnet. IW. It's the first IW if I remember correctly. Then we got Garnet IW twice. One with twins because twins are cool, and then one without any burst. Boss Rush 6. What was Boss Rush 6? Who were we fighting in this one? I don't remember. Count Steam, Big Fish, and then the machines. Oh, this is one with Orin. Yeah, this one's fine. This one is fine. The Garnet one, just for anybody wondering, you just needed like water and like electric weakness, which is what Garnet does. So like anybody who could do like water and electric stuff was fine. There was some like silly mechanics in there, but like nothing like super egregious. Oh boy, the most fun boss fight. Yeah, we'll end it here. We'll end it here. Oh boy, the most fun boss fight. Divine Shiva. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where do we start? Where do we start? The most fun I've had in this game. Man, I wanted to drop off a building after this one. I wanted to walk down the street and start kicking puppies and babies, man. This shit sucked. Like, holy moly, this shit sucked. So, we've got Divine Shiva. Divine Shiva has two forms, because, you know, one boss fight wasn't enough. No. Give it to him twice. That man said, double it, send it back to him. So, okay, gotcha. So, this first form Shiva, which first form Shiva is a pushover. She's like nothing. Like, I don't even know if she has, like, an orb. I mean, really, you just kind of use first form Shiva to set up for second form Shiva. Second form Shiva is where the fight actually starts. Now, I'm not to say that first form Shiva can't give you some problems. You know, she can definitely cook you if you let her get enough turns. Well, we don't care about first form Shiva. We care about second form Shiva. All right, second form Shiva splits into two, just how she does in like the other stages. So, what sucks about this? The orb doesn't really matter. It kind of matters, but not really. So this is where they were experimenting with orbs that didn't like instantly wipe you, because you know, I guess it took them, I don't know what, 6-7 months. They were like, hey man, that shit kind of sucks. Playing like a 30-minute stage, and you know, maybe you run out of the skill you need for the orb, or like maybe turns just get fucked, some kind of way, and like you're dead, man. That kind of sucks. This is how long? It's a 30-minute frame. Okay, I thought it was longer. So, yeah, the orb is to just do fire damage. Jet was the banner guy on this one. He did fire damage. So just do fire damage. Well, okay. Now, if the orb hits 0, like I said, it doesn't kill you. They just do like a standard like HP attack. So you're gonna take some damage as long as you got somebody here to sustain. You're fine. The problem comes from like everything else with Shiva. So Shiva will do a bunch of HP damage, because you know that's always cool. She constantly does HP damage, so you've got to have somebody to heal. You can't get through with just DPSing through the fight and then hope that you can like tank the orb a couple of times. It's like no, they're gonna get turns. They're gonna do damage. Also, there's Shiva gets a 1 million. I believe it's 1 million. 1 million Brave Shield on both of them. Pretty sure it's both of them. So, I hope you brought somebody who can do some damage real quick. So they've got a big ass shield. Oh, is this the shield here? No, not yet. Alright, so now here's the most fun move in the entire game. Freeze. Freeze. Yep. Divine Diamond Dust. It batteries them, does an HP damage to your team, and it freezes you. The freeze is an aura. It is not a debuff. So if you have someone with debuff evasion, like an Aerith, or like Lena, somebody, anybody with like 100% debuff evasion, does not matter. You are getting frozen. And you stay frozen until both Shivas take a turn. So, if the RNG turn gods are just completely against you, it is very easy to wipe from that. Very easy. Because if Shiva A freezes you, and then the next turn, Shiva B will also do the freeze. But if it goes like Shiva 1, your guy turn 2, Shiva 2, yeah, that shit can, like, it can definitely snowball out of control. Because then you've got, alright, you've been frozen by Shiva 1. 2 of your turns just went by with you doing nothing, so your buffs just tick down. Shiva 2 then does her freeze to try and freeze you, but you're already frozen, so it doesn't do anything, but you do take a little bit of damage. Then you have to wait for their second turn to come around after they freeze you. And if turns get wacky, they can, it can very quickly get out of control to where, like, one of the Shivas gets 2 turns in between waiting for the second Shiva to, like, get her turn so you can unfreeze. Yeah, so the turn shenanigans are like the worst part of this fight by a country mile. It's just, you just, like I said, stuff just gets too out of control way too quick, and it's like stuff beyond your control. You can't do anything about the turn order. You can try and keep them, like, hey, I'm not gonna break them out of order. I'm not gonna, like, take a bunch of turns or anything. But I mean, once they do their, like, Diamond Dust attack, which Diamond Dust will always break you. So if you take a tank like Zac, who, he got his upgrade a while ago, but Zac pretty much crumples if you break him. His whole gimmick is like, hey, he doesn't want to get broken. He reduces damage. But Diamond Dust will always break you and always push your turns back. So you can see right here on the screen, it goes Shiva B, and then Shiva C, and then Shiva B again. So Shiva C did her attack. It didn't do anything, but she did her attack. Then it turn hopped her in front of us to do the Diamond Dust. And then Shiva B will do her regular attack. So now we have to wait for that Shiva C to do her move. And you could, if you didn't see with that Shiva B attack, she hit us for an attack, like a regular Brave attack, but hit us for max Brave damage on everybody. So, yeah, if I didn't have all these, that Ferris call that just saps her Brave to 0, yeah, I mean, look at that. Like, she just smacks all of us for 9,000 something Brave. So, yeah, if I didn't have that fucking, Ferris call that saps her to 0, she would have just got her turn with like 50, 60,000 Brave, and then we're just dead. Like, that's why we have Forum here to keep us up, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. Like, even Forum is like, I mean, Forum is super power crept at this point in the game. Like, she is dummy weak at this point. Like, she's hitting with her LD, her strongest move, for 1 Brave damage. I don't need her for damage. I just need to survive. Like, Lon and Rain and Big Mommy are my damage. They do the damage. I just need to survive. And even just, like, sustaining is tough. Even just sustaining is tough. Man, this fight was a pain in the ass, man. I cannot stress how fucking just gross this fight was. Because you do enough damage to them, and then they get a big fuck you Brave Shield for 1,000,000 damage. And then they get the orbs that tick down, and then just, like, periodically throughout the fight, They're just like, nah, Diamond Dust. You gotta wait for me to do my turns. It's like, oh my god, this sucks. This shit sucks, man. Yeah, and then we got like the confused here. I guess to like, I don't know, hope to like stop them. Yeah, this fight fucking sucks, man. This was like I said, this shit had me contemplating some thoughts, man. This shit had me in a rough place. I was like, bro, this sucks. It's just one of them fights where it's just like, man, what mechanic can we throw at them? Oh, also I forgot to mention, uh, Divine Shiva in her second form cannot be turn deleted. She can't have her turns deleted. Also, she cannot be delayed. In fact, if you try to delay her, it will fail, and she will hit you with an attack that will delay you. So that's fun. That was fun. Like they really just sat down and was like, all right. Also, again, can't be launched. I mean, you didn't see my man in the team, so I'm sure you already know. No, he can't be launched. So yeah, they really sat down and thought, all right, what's every like silly mechanic the players can use to cheese our fight? And they wrote them down, and they were like, okay, stop all that shit. Just put it into all that shit, and then make a boss that's just the most annoying motherfucker. And there you go. There's Shiva. There's Divine Shiva. Yeah, that yeah, no. Yeah, no. Never again. Yeah, no. That shit sucks, man. That shit sucks. All right, but we're gonna end it here. Divine Shivan got me riled up. So we're gonna call it here. Next time we'll take on the rest of Lufenia Plus. I'm pretty sure there's not that much left to Lufenia Plus. I'm pretty sure we're about to hit garbage time in a little bit. Yeah, I think so. I think in a little bit we're about to hit garbage time, and then from there it's just like, yeah, no, this is free. This is free. So anyway, I'll catch you boys and girls next time. We probably wrap out the rest of Lufenia Plus, and we can tackle Shinryu then. And once we're caught up, we'll just kind of talk about state of the game and where things got a little rough. But anyway, until then, I'll catch you boys and girls later.